Hello gardening friends, this is Robin from Garden Extras. Left the gate open, the ducks are out. They got their wings clipped for the first time. The guys studied videos until they felt comfortable and they went out and clipped the wings. I've been told that the wings grow back, so there's no more flying over the fence. They walked out. I'm going to walk back there and get closer. Everything's lush. I haven't been filming because it's been too hot. This is the extra part of Garden Extras. I kind of tore it all apart. I'm going to put it back together differently. This part of the garden's new. The chicken coop was there in the spring and I was kind of trying to decorate the coop, and we ended up moving it to the backyard, further back, all the way back. But I still like the garden here. It's got a nice little path to get through. This is last year's blueberry propagation. Got its first leaf. I had a plant stand over top of this area with a bunch of plants on it. But because it has a leaf and it's growing, I wanted to get it out of the shade. This pumpkin is a volunteer. These are decorative pumpkins. The green, oh, I can't remember the other colors, but they're not the regular pumpkins, they're different. They're not orange. I had to cut it back because it was getting too crowded in where my new part of the garden is. This is the plant shelf I had over there, over top of my blueberry. It was good in the beginning of the summer because it was protecting it. But I'm redoing this whole section, probably after I get done filming. Morning, chickens. They were out earlier. This is the first time that all 5 ducks have been out. And they're still a bit skittish when I walk up on them. So I'm going to be careful. Let them enjoy some out of the pen time. They've never really been a big fan of this other pond, which we've been working on. Kids went up north and brought home some things from the lake. Lily pads and something I don't quite know what it is. I think I seen a white flower on one of them. These right here. And of course the lily pads bloom. So this pond is full. I think the ducks don't like it because of the rocks around it, and it's got a log over top of it. It's kind of a busy little spot. They went in at one time and it was full of green junk, algae, and they cleaned it up real nice, but they ate the lily pad, so we weren't encouraging it. We are at the log garden putting in another pond, a small pond, specifically for growing duckweed. We were going to grow out duckweed in this pond, and we had a bunch of it. We had a good start, and then the fish that we have in here, we have 4 goldfish and 3 mollies, and they really took a liking to the duckweed. So the only duckweed that we have left is inside the pots. And I seen a fish yesterday jumping around on this little pot here, trying to get the duckweed. There's a little bit of duckweed in this one. And if the fish could get in here, they would. I seen all of the fish yesterday, so there is hope for me being able to get them on film. I have a bunch of hostas left over and garden extras that I can use to fill in around the pond. And I have help. Thank you, Richard. I went around the long way so as not to startle the ducks. But I am still working on this corner, the new pond area. Got a lot of rain, so some of this duckweed washed out. Moved the shrub from the other side of the log to this side. It was, mosquito got my hand. It was too big for the other side. Perfect for this side. So I haven't done any shopping. I'm just kind of moving things around. I want to work on this corner this weekend. Oh, now mosquitoes getting my back. I gotta go spray. Amaranth. It'll get really tall by the end of this summer. Hydrangea propagations from this year. There's another one. I've had great luck with the hydrangeas, but it took me 3 years to have great luck. First year out, it was a fail. When I finally succeeded, it was because it was late fall, and that's the right time to propagate them here in Garden Zone 4B. First time, we had a hard frost, and the leaves were damaged. And I cut it back and propagated it, and it took. So that's what I do now. I have wild lettuce in here for medicinal purposes. I seeded it. The first pieces that I got were on the side of the road. And they were blooming, so I took the blooms, the seeds, and seeded this area. So now every year I'm trying to keep them from taking over. But as soon as they bloom now, I cut them out, rinse them off, and dry them. It helps with sleep and pain. It's a tea. I use it as a tea. And I don't use it often. I potted up milkweed out of my vegetable garden. I needed the space. That's when I'll dig things up in there. And it has a beautiful flower, which I'll throw up because I have it when it was blooming. It was so pretty. It'll go really nicely with this stuff. Elderberry is going to get 5 feet tall by 5 feet wide when it's mature. The peewee hydrangea is starting to get blooms on it. It's 3 years old. I think they call it peewee for a reason. I'm assuming that it's going to be white, but we'll see. So I'm going with whites, pinks, purples. I just moved this one here. This peonies is white. Big fluffy white flowers. I don't believe I have a picture of this one blooming. I should have. And milkweed on this side. I need to get the seeds from this because I don't have any more seeds. But I found another one while I was pulling out weeds. Right here. I believe there might be 1 or 2 on the other side that survived. the rebuilding and expanding of the garden. So whites, purples, pinks in this area. The orange, well, that's what we started with. That's there. We're going to leave it. It's far enough away to where it doesn't distract from the rest of the garden. This duckweed, the kids went to the river and got it for free. We've only bought 2 pond plants. Excuse me, ducks. I bought lettuce when I was at my fish store buying fish food. And I bought King Tut in the spring. Mother's Day shopping spree. 20 bucks. So I spent $26 on pond plants. All the rest of them have been wild caught. Nice show though. I like it. I have this pulled, this wild lettuce. I'm going to cut the roots off, rinse it off with the hose, and hang it in my kitchen. Oh, I cut the flowers off too, so they're like dandelions. There's little helicopter seeds. I don't want them in my kitchen. When I first started, I didn't pull them up by the roots. I cut them off because I want this next year, but they spread by root, so now I pull them up. And I only let them grow where I want them to, in the wild area.